Hey everybody, welcome to the Board Meeple. Today we're going to review a game that I just played. It's called The Skull King. Let's take a look, and I'll pick this up and we'll be right back for your enjoyment and how I thought of it. So here we have The Skull King, our first review. Let's go over. So you're going to start out the game with these sets of cards, and they're numbered 1 through 14, and there's 3 suits that are all equal to each other: purple, yellow or gold, and green. You can see here that 14 has an extra number on it. We'll go over that a little later when it comes to scoring. Now you got these 3 sets that are all the same. Next, you're going to have this Jolly Roger set, which trumps all 3 of those. So anytime somebody lays one of these, the highest of the Jolly Roger sets will win the trick. However, there is the Skull King, who can take any tricks whatsoever. Now, along with the Skull King, I should have went over these before the Skull King, are the pirates. And the pirates will take over anything. And then the Skull King will obviously supersede that and take over everything above that. Ooh, got a little glare there. So we'll move over here. So as you're playing, you're also going to come into the rounds with white flags, which means you don't want to take the trick. It is important in this game not to take any more tricks than you have bid on, because if you don't get exactly the right amount, you start to lose points. So the flags are helpful when you're about to win a trick that you don't want to. The Tigress here is a special card which acts as a flag to submit, or you can also play her as a pirate, which again would take over any other card. Now the first player to play a pirate gets that trick, unless of course the Skull King is played, but the first player gets the trick. So if 2 pirates are played at the same round, whoever played first gets that trick. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get your hand of cards, and that hand of cards is going to vary by round. And you're going to start the game out with 1 card, and you're going to play up to 10 rounds. So you're going to, at the end, you're going to have 10 cards in your hand. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to bid. And you can bid anything from 0 to 8. And if you want to go any higher, 0 to 9. And if you want to do 10 on the last one, you can certainly do 10. You just acknowledge that by saying, I'm bidding 10. So each person will get a card. They will decide how many tricks they want to go for, anywhere from 0 to 9. And then you will start to play the round. The person who goes first will determine the suit, very much like euchre. So if you've played euchre or a variation of that, you will know how it goes. So, for instance, if we take all these out of the way here, if the first player decides they're going to play the green 14, so they're really trying hard to take that first trick. So if you have any green cards, you have to play them. Now that's the suit you have to follow. However, if you are out of green cards or didn't start the hand with any, you can play whatever you want from your hand. You are allowed to play a Jolly Roger, which will overtake that 14. Now this guy will get the trick. Oh, but wait. This guy's going to play one of the pirates. So now they're in control. For whatever reason, on this first trick, this person wants it real bad too. So they all played pretty good cards, and the Skull King ends up taking it. Now I should say that each of these pirates are named differently. That's an expansion, and we can go over that a little bit at the end. So as you take your tricks, you take your points. So if you bid and you get the number of tricks you want correct, so let's say you bid 2 and you get 2 tricks, you will get 20 points. If you bid 3, you get it, 30 points. But as a bonus, as I was showing you earlier, if you happen to get exactly the right amount of tricks you wanted, and you get cards with a little extra plus 20, you also get that. So if you get your 2 tricks, and you get this plus 20, that's 40 points you'll get that hand. And you do that for 10 rounds. And that is the basics of this game. I'd also like to touch a little bit of base with you on what the expansion brings in. Now the expansion brings in 2 mermaids, a kraken, and some loot. Now the 2 mermaids defeats any number cards and the Skull King. However, pirates will still beat them. So if somebody plays the Skull King and then a mermaid is played, the mermaid will take that trick. However, if at any point a pirate is played, the pirate will still take that trick now. It supersedes the mermaids. So the mermaid will take out the Skull King, but the pirate will still take out the mermaid in the end. So the Skull King won't get the trick, the pirate gets the trick. The loot is if you wanted to form an alliance between 2 players on a certain round. So you're saying whoever gets this trick with the loot in it, they're going to also be your friend for the round. You want them to succeed as much as you do. And if so, you will get an extra bonus. As for, I'm missing one. Oh, the Kraken. We didn't go over the Kraken. Destroys the trick. The Kraken says nobody gets that trick. That trick is just null and void, doesn't exist. It has been destroyed. Now there are those 3, 4, 5 pirates we talked about earlier. And I seem to be missing one. But here's 4 of them. So we'll go over these 4 real quick. I'm sorry about the glare. We'll have to adjust that. Figure out a way to fix my lighting here in the room. I'm going to move them over here so it's a little less glare. I apologize. So, Miss Rosie over here, she picks who leads the next trick. So if she wins the trick, if you play her and she wins the trick, you will now get to pick who starts the next round. Baji the Bandit here, if you win the trick with him, you draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. So if you play it and win this trick, you can draw 2 cards and discard 2. Change up your hand a little bit. Next we have Rascal of Rutan. He allows you to wager points for the whole round. So if you get your round's tricks, you can add either 10 or 20 points to that round. But you have to do it when you played him. So you have to make sure you time it right and feel you are going to win the round. Otherwise, you will lose those points. Juanita Jade here views all undealt cards. So she can take a look and see if the Skull King's in the game or if the Skull King's not in the game at all. Maybe the Skull King's in the deck. Now you have a little advantage by knowing where the Skull King or other cards are that you might be worried or concerned about. Here we go, I found them. And finally, Harry the Giant. He is a giant, and he can change his bid. So if you win your trick with him, he will allow you to change your bid 1 more or 1 less than what you did. So if you bid 3, down to 2, or up to 4. After the 10 rounds, you're going to tally up your scores, and the person with the highest score wins. And that's Skull King. Whew, I cleaned that up good. Today we looked at the Skull King. We looked at both the regular part of the game and with the expansions. What I would like to say about the game here quick also is it's really cool how it all comes in one box. Now, I don't think when it first came out, it probably didn't include the expansions, but now it does. And the neat thing about this with the expansions is it's got the rules for the regular game on one sheet, and it's got the add-on rules for the expansion on the other. So if you don't want to play with the expansion, it's real easy to find the 7-8 cards that are in the expansion, take them out, and just don't even use that rules. You can just put those off to the side. So what I will say is that this is a good game. If you've been watching my top 100, it is on my top 100. I won't tell you where unless you probably already know. And if you don't, well, go watch the top 100. So, I enjoy this game. It's a fun, easy game. I can play it with Grandpa Becky. Or Bex. Whoever Grandpa Bex is. I don't know. But I could play it with Grandpa. I could play it with the kids. My older kids. I could also play it with people who don't play games typically like this. It's very much like euchre, so you can incorporate a lot of different people into playing this game. So it's a fun game to just take along, and as you can see, it's real easy to take anywhere. So, and it plays up to 6, so you can get a lot of people in on it. If I was to give it a rating, I would say that the rating would be somewhere around a 7. This is my first game I'm going to rate, and I want to make sure I get the rating about right. So I'm going to give it a 7.1. Let's start there, and we'll figure it out as we go along. Maybe ratings change in the afterlife. Who knows? But here in 2024, we're going to rate Skull King a 7.1. Good game, easy to bring in whoever you want, and anybody who's played euchre will grasp it pretty quickly, in my opinion. And you can have fun for the whole family. Play it with your kids, play it with your parents, play it with your grandparents even. You can play it with just about anybody who wants to play a game. So there you have it, folks. Hope you enjoyed Skull King. We'll see you next time on the next review. Take care.